Hello everybody, I'm Snoop Robinson and welcome to Do It Your Damn Self. Well, today we're gonna talk a little bit about tying in Instagram Live. Yeah, there's not a lot of apps out there that make it available to where you can do a real live broadcast where you're doing maybe a concert or whatever, or even maybe just a talk show that you want to do. That you can go live without just doing your cell phone to Instagram. So I'm going to show you the key things to that. I'm not going to go through all the connections and things like that because I've already went through that in the first tutorial, which is how to do Zoom. So just look at the Zoom. It shows you all the different connections. These connections work the same way with any encoder that you want to use. All right, so we're gonna get to it. One app that you can definitely have, and there are multiple different apps that are available. One is OBS. OBS is an encoder. It's free. It's free. Can I say again? It's free, and it's a very powerful program. There are others out there, so if you find one that works for you and that works with this software, that's great too. But I use OBS for the actual software. So when dealing with OBS, your encoder is going to be OBS, and then for the actual broadcast encoder on the other side to be able to do the live feed is going to be LooLa.tv. LooLa.tv. It does cost. That particular app does cost. I think it's free for 3 hours per month. So if you think you're going to do more than 3 hours per month for a show, then you might want to upgrade and go ahead and get the purchase software program. All right. So starting out with OBS. OBS comes out. I've already kind of set it up for the Instagram, but usually it comes in a 16:9 format. So the thing about Instagram is it only deals with the straight up and down phone landscape type concept. So to get the right pixels and the right format, you have to go into OBS and actually get it to where you need it so you can get your video into the right area. And you kind of play with it to see what works for you. The settings I'm going to give to you are the ones that have worked for me. And there's plenty more out there. I mean, there's other, like I said, you can always tweak it to what you need to. All right, so we're gonna go to settings. On OBS, you have your start streaming, start recording, studio mode, and settings. We're gonna go to settings so we can kind of show you how to actually, what you need for this particular piece. All right, we're gonna come back to stream because we're gonna have to copy and paste our stream code from OBS to be able to do this. Now it's your personal key, so do not share it or any of that, so on and so on. The server, it's the password that's the issue because the server is the same, so you won't be able to see that. All right, for the output, usually it comes up on OBS, comes up as simple mode. What I normally do is I'll take it to advanced mode. Make sure you have a 264 encoder, enforce streaming service encoder settings, and then rescale output to 608 by 1080. At a rate control CBR, 2500 kilobytes as far as the bit rate, and your keyframe at 2. Make sure you put very fast for the CPU, profile main, and 0 latency. These are the settings that have worked for me. So what you want to do is just you can start with this and then kind of build on your next platform. Now let's go to video. Video. We want to make sure that we do the same thing. We do 608 by 1080, and basically 608 by 1080 for the base canvas, and then the output scale resolution, and then biocubic. We want to make sure we have that as well as the frames per second at 30. Like I say, you tweak and manipulate to what you need to kind of get it to work. All right. So we want to save. All these settings are already saved, so we're going to save those. All right, down at the bottom there's a plus mode. You have different ways that you can do inputs, whether it's, because you can actually use this as a switcher as well or whatever, but I'm using it as my encoder for my Blackmagic. As you can see, Blackmagic shows up. Click Blackmagic. Don't use existing settings. As you can see, these are the different properties that come up. I'd already got it set, so I'm not gonna use those, but let's just say I've got the Ultra Mini, whatever device you're using to do your input, click that. If you're doing SDI or HDMI, click on that. I'm using SDI at this moment. Embed audio, technically I could use embedded audio because that's what I'm using, and then click OK. Because I'm already doing it, it's not gonna show up. So I'm gonna go ahead and cancel this on this one. So this is actually the way it should look if you're doing it from scratch. And that's the Ultra Mini Recorder, SDI, embedded audio, mode auto, all these different things work for me, all right? So we're gonna press OK. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this one here because I don't need it, remove. I just wanted to show y'all what was happening. And then you can name it to whatever you wanna name it, all right? All right, so next step. All right, on LooLa TV, this is what shows up. So you have the studio feature pricing, about us, and facts. Now I will say a lot of their facts are frequently asked questions are available to show you different canvases that you may need, whether you're using this. It works good for Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and some other different applications. You can go live on all of them. I've had issues with them staying consistent, trying to do multiple ones. I normally do Instagram, but I did work on Twitter. Twitter's part of Periscope. It did work with that as well. But for some reason, if they go on both simultaneously, for some reason it's not communicating. I haven't had to have it, so it's not that crucial to me, but that is an option for you. All right, so you would click Studio. All right, so when you click this, you see my picture. If you got a webcam on there, the webcam, you can use your webcam as well. You don't have to have a live feed like I have now, but if you want to do switching from video to music or whatever you're trying to accomplish, that's when you use your OBS and all these others. So you can do this just like this as well, but it kind of defeats the purpose. Might as well go for your phone if you want to try to do that. All right, so we're gonna go to RTP, and as you can see, it has a stream code, but I'm gonna blur it out because that's a personal stream code for what I have. So you click the stream code, copy and paste it, and then let's go over to OBS. Go click settings, go to streaming, stream codes. Like I say, your server's always the same. So let's go to stream codes, copy and paste, click OK. All right, so let's go back to our server, which is LooLa TV. It's either LooLa or LooLa, I'm not for sure, but that's how I pronounce it. I could be wrong. All right, so if I start streaming now, it probably won't go up, and I'm gonna tell you why. So let's start streaming. Now let you know, this is not streaming to Instagram yet. It's just streaming to the actual device. Now usually it won't pop up, and the reason being is because it is a flash-based device. So right now it's asking for flash. You want to always use flash for right now. They're gonna have to get rid of it pretty soon because flash is gonna get out of Chrome. But as you can see, you have the functionalities of me actually on the screen. Now your whole canvas on LooLa TV is not gonna be changing. It's gonna be the same way no matter what, but your input. Now if you wanna move your video, if you wanna move this video up or down, you go back into OBS, and you can click on, let's do this. Unlock that preview. All right, so you can actually go in, move it down. I had it locked, so you can. So that's the good thing about OBS too. Make a transition, go ahead and transition on over, so it'll be what you need. You can lock the preview, so nobody will ever have to change it or manipulate your actual settings. So you have that option to do that. But if I wanted to switch it around, unlock it, so I want to move it up here, click transition. Let's go back to LooLa. Let's refresh. So now you have the video way up top. So like I said, you can, and usually you don't have to refresh. It all depends on your computer. Right now, the computer's moving kind of slow for some reason. So, but I'm gonna move it back down because I found that it works better so people can see it on when you actually are using LooLa. All right, we're gonna go back to LooLa. And as you can see, it automatically updated. Now over here, you have your Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Oh, Facebook is on here now. They just added that. I'm just seeing. Nice. So, you can add whatever functionalities you want, and you can do that by either clicking on them. And as you can see here, you've got the other different setups that you can actually click. So if I want to click Twitter, I can click to connect to my Twitter account to make that connection to make it work, and then so on and so on. But all right, we're gonna go back to Studio. Going back to Studio, our video should pop up. Now to go live, you click go live and it'll take you straight to Instagram. And if you have any trouble with different pieces as far as why it's not working, why it's not going through, check your internet connection. There are some frequently asked questions that LooLa have provided. Go to that and post those questions, or just type in the questions and it'll come up. For example, you can click here when you go frequently asked questions. Let's just say OBS audio. Oh, that's another thing. I'm gonna go back to audio updates. My bad, I'm spelling bad, y'all. All right, audio, OBS audio. So fixing audio syncs and audio for OBS, the frequently asked questions will pop up. Now, one thing I didn't show you all, here's a tab to click on to go ahead and tweak your audio. Sometimes with Instagram, it's a little delay. So what I've done is on my Blackmagic device 2, I did 400 milliseconds, not a negative 400, I did 400 milliseconds, and it tends to sync, so you can play with those numbers to make it work for you when it comes to the Instagram audio syncing as you export and start doing your show. Now, a lot of these settings on OBS stays there until you change it. All right, so hopefully that was a little helpful. I had some questions about how we were doing Instagram Live with switcher, video feed. And like I say, I didn't show at the beginning of this video the different devices that I use to actually bring my video feed into my computer. I did that in my other video tutorial, which is Zoom, how to use Zoom, do a live feed with Zoom. And if you got those questions, you can go over there and they can actually show you a little bit more in detail. Hopefully this has been helpful. If you need anything else, now remind you, this is for the dummies, not for the techs. So if you're not familiar with this, is just to kind of help you do something real quick. There's always many ways of doing things. So my ways may not be your way, but that don't mean it's the wrong way. So let's keep that in mind and keep it positive. If you got any questions, post them in the comments and subscribe. All right, y'all take care. All right, peace.